What's up? You're watching the Whatever Camera series, and today we are reviewing a movie.
What?
Today we're going to be reviewing a movie that a lot of you are going to be familiar with, Wonder Woman. We've all seen all the reviews and everything that's online about it, and how it's got like a 92-93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is completely ridiculous. But we're going to talk about it today, and I'm here with Ilo and our special guest, Matt.
What's up, guys?
So, I had the expectation, at the very least, that it was going to be better than Batman vs. Superman, which I thought it did do a great job of being better. But with the whole superhero thing, I was pretty glad that they didn't spend half or three-quarters of the movie explaining who she was, where she came from, and so on and so forth. So I felt really good about that. I guess we'll jump into the meat and potatoes of the review. What did you think of it, and what are some of your major takeaways?
It wasn't a good movie, but it was. I guess it was what it was. It was okay, but
it was just stock for me. It was like it just had all the boxes checked. You know, it was like a very mediocre movie.
Before it even happened, we were like, is she gonna? She's gonna volunteer and she's gonna run away.
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
In a completely different aspect of the movie, there's some things that just kind of freaked me out. Like you guys were talking about earlier. I think it was funny because all three of you all had made a comment about the way she jumped from the roof to get her sword or something like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What was the point of that?
Yeah.
And so I guess to go into that, there's like some things that were like really cool sequence wise, and there's some things that were just like, why did they do that? That didn't look cool at all. It looked really lame. Like there were some sequences that were like, there's no flow to it. It looked really weird. Like there's sometimes where she would go, and like she would kind of like blow everybody out. All of a sudden, I don't know, there's just something with the lighting or I don't know, the editing or whatever.
What did the movie do right?
Oh wait,
right. I don't have an answer for that. The World War II outfits? I don't know. What?
The war was on point.
Actually, I liked Wonder Woman's, like the crown thing, the way it looked. Like some of those angles, they looked pretty dope too.
Costume design was on fleek.
Yeah.
Dope.
You know what they also did right? They did her hair right. It was real nice.
Well, except for that pompadour.
In almost every scene. Oh yeah, except for that one.
There's a part where she looked like she had a pompadour. She looks like one of those Mexicans like that I know that fucking pomp up their hair, like back in high school days.
I'm on the fence with it. It's not that it did anything really bad. Like it's not a really bad movie, but I don't think it really did anything particularly well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt. It wasn't bad.
I think that just the way they told the story was not right. If you can go, yep, that's gonna happen, and then it happens, like, well, fuck that movie, dude. Personally, I think where the movie went wrong and where DC is going wrong is the fact that DC is so focused on creating scenes versus moments in the movie. And a scene is something that makes you go, whoa, but it doesn't stick with you. A moment is where you feel something, right? So a clear example of that in Wonder Woman is when she's in the train station and there's an ice cream person there. Somebody's serving ice cream. And she stops to get ice cream. He buys her an ice cream and she goes, And then that's the end of the entire scene. When it's like, okay, like she's a new person in this world like Pocahontas, and she has all these things that she has to, you know, to marvel at.
Marvel at.
You see what I did there? You know, when you have things like that, it's like you can kind of stay there for a second. Like they stayed there too long on some other scenes, like the one where she's in the cave. You know?
Right? Was it like, kind of cringy?
That was like, why are we spending the extra 3, 4, 5 seconds on this particular scene when it doesn't add anything to the movie? That whole scene did nothing for the movie. Even as far as their relationship, even when they had sex, that's supposed to be a big thing, right? Sure. That could have been a moment for her to,
that's where they fucked up.
Yeah.
If I had to sum it up, I think that's maybe for me what was like the main thing that they messed up on was there was no development of anyone. So like when you were saying, you know, creating those moments as opposed to scenes, like I just didn't feel involved or like I cared about any of the characters.
Exactly.
And so when they cut through like the story, kind of like you're saying, they got that stock like feel going on. They kind of like run you through the motions. Even then, when she made it to the city and she's, you know, kind of being the stranger there, I just didn't believe it. I was like, I'm supposed to know that you're from this world and like you've never seen these things before, but just really wasn't like sold on it.
Yeah.
They're gonna remember that pointless fight that where we all kind of acknowledged, like, okay, they're having a typical relationship
Nothing fight.
pointless fight. There's a scene where she just killed the guy that she thought was Ares, and then Chris Pine's character shows up, and then they start having this dumb argument. It's like a typical relationship argument.
It was supposed to stop
I
and
killed
this
him.
and that. Yeah.
I killed
And he's
him.
like, but that's the point. You thought and you were wrong.
And instead of saying, there's people dying right here too, let's go help them, she has to stop everything and say, no, wait a minute. This is supposed to happen the way I wanted. I had thought it was going to happen in my head. Why isn't it happening? And she starts freaking out, and he's just there, and he's getting to her level. No, it's okay. Chill out. Blah, 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 blah. No. There's people dying right out there. There's like our homies are still fighting over there. There is going on. What if we just started a counter? As soon as they started fighting, she could be saving lives, but because she's upset and he's not telling her let's just go, he has to try to comfort her emotional status. They're just wasting countless lives that are dying because they're not getting down to business.
Let's also
We're gonna find those stats.
consider the idea that she's a super young, like, teenager at this point.
Right.
You know, even though it's Gadot, I don't know how to pronounce her name.
But she's also been training her all of her adolescence for war.
For war, but not for emotions.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
They've never been to war. They've only been training for war. But you can't train them how to act when they're actually in war.
But remember when Claire Underwood was like, "Don't ever let your guard down." What are you doing?
Yeah,
Is it-
I don't know.
Is it?
Just saying, George.
Remember when they're in the trenches and they're kind of having this, not like an argument, but they're having the same kind of talk, but it's completely reversed because now she's like, what are you doing? Like, why are we staying in the trenches? There's people dying out there. The village is in trouble and these people don't have any food.
And
Like, she's motivated
and
then.
he's like, stay on mission.
Yeah.
He's like, stay on the mission, and she's like, but we can help all these people.
And now all of a
Now it's
sudden,
the opposite.
Then she
kills the Jews.
kills Ares, and she's like, war should be done now.
Yeah.
Straight
And
out
he's
the
like,
window.
there's people dying right outside.
It's really tough because, like, as a guy and watching what it meant to women, I wanted to also, like, rejoice. Like, great, they made a great movie.
Yeah.
That sent a great signal, you know. But when I watched it, I was like, "Jeez,
Lame.
It's lame. It's cheesy. It's
Sucks.
you know, like it doesn't give you much to bite onto. You know, like even from the beginning, like as she's a little girl. Oh, okay, I've seen this so many times. You got this little girl. I mean, Moana.
Yeah, right.
You,
Yeah,
got, you know,
same
that's
movie,
like
yeah.
literally the exact same thing. You know, you got this little girl who's like, oh my god, that's Moana at the sea.
At least Moana had the rock, you know,
That's true.
and he was singing.
Yeah.
That's what it was missing. If he was Ares,
Oh, what if he was
That
Chris
would've been
Pine, though?
legit.
With that mustache, he used to have a
oh,
mustache.
that could have been good too.
He used to have that brown wool.
So Isaac, send it or nah?
Nah, dude.
Nah.
Send it back, dude.
Oh, there you have it. Nah, send it back.
It was like
Nah.
going to. It was like going to Subway. It was like it's good for you, but you know it really isn't.
Well, there you have it, guys. You've been watching the Whatever Camera series. That's our review of Wonder Woman. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.